All right, this is Mark Farrar with Not Square Design. As you can see right there in my little title block. And I turn on my highlighter here. And now that we have that on, my contact information, you could pause if you need any of that. This lesson will be AutoCAD LT compatible as we're doing it in 2D. And I've received some updated drawings from the Tiber Framer. And I'm going to enter them into CAD so I can have a meaningful conversation with the county about their requirements. It's not going to really take too long. I went through real quick and I took a look at this piece here. Zoom out a bit. And so we got our garage side here. And first I just checked these, the 13.815 and 15.4. And so if I go to my floor plan, we have our 13.8, our 15, and our 15.4. So floor plan's good. And with that good, we are linked in here. And you can even check, there's the 13.8, and then the other end is the 15.4 with the straight 15 in the middle. So the XREF is working. So what's new is he added all these knee braces. This is the second row of the girders up there. We have a main bent girt, and then out here is the shed girt, and we'll see those in the other view. So this is the shed, this section, and that's the shed girt, and then this is the main bent, this big guy here, and so there's that girder beam. So what's different? And it was described, but it wasn't drawn yet. I'm going to check all these dimensions, make sure they're still valid. And do I have this location yet? I don't know that oh, there it is. So I've got to the center 15 foot, or 5 foot 6 and 9/16 to the center. So that's good. And I think I did have that. So that being said, this is bent 1 and 2, which are out by the garage door. Behind that is bent 3 and 4, which is just a lower loft space we're creating. So, and that'll be accessible through a barn door on the outside. And then we have the bent going up, or sorry, knee brace going up and knee brace going down. And then this is a vertical piece, and I'm going to have to make the assumption that it goes all the way to the top because this doesn't exist here. So I think that's just the way he's drawn it out to make it easy for him to understand, and I think I've got it down. So move this off to the side so we can see what we're doing. The first thing we're going to do is come in and verify some stuff. So I'm looking to my side, and this 9.6 is good. The 8-inch is good. I already checked this. This is an 8 by 10, which is what he has noted. And then from the slab here up to the bottom of the bent that's for the this backside is 11.7. So he's raised that up a little bit. So I'm going to delete that. And then we're going to stretch this guy. I'll have to stretch that too. So we'll do it real quick here. So I can erase this, and then I can just take this guy and change its note. And then we'll stretch this up to 7 inches. Up 7. You'll see that dotted line going with it to the right. So we're going to have to stretch down there to the right, up 7 as well. So now we got 11.7 to the bottom, which is what he has in his drawing. And then over here, I'll need to stretch this with this note up 7, and then I have to change the note. So we'll stretch that from anywhere here up 7. So we're up to 7 now. It's nice and even. The line's straight. So this didn't move. So I'm going to move that up 7. And it lands right in between my text. It looks like it's aligned. So then I just want to take my distance from here to here. and that is 12 foot 3 inches. If I click on this, I can grab that, ignore the minus sign because I measured down, Control C, and then I can come back in to that location, which is this one, and then Control V. So now I've got that altered to the way that he wants it now. And let's check and see if our bent height. So I've got 15.6 to the bottom of this guy. So we're going to just throw a dimension line in here. From there to there, pull it out. We'll do a match properties. And that is 15.6, so that didn't change. It's an 8 by 12. I did say 8/12, so I'm pretty sure I've already checked this. It is 1 foot. And then this line is still showing. And he's got it noticed as approximately 1/6. And it probably has to do with how he's making this seat. And maybe he does this with the hand, by hand. And so he set this, I believe it's 6. Yeah, that's 6 inches. So just doing the math and stuff, he ended up at the right spot. And that 5 foot 6 and 9/16 to the center line of this is there. It's correct. This is a 3 by 3, so that's showing correct. What I don't see is the size of that. So I don't know what his knee brace. Oh, there's one of them is a 3 by 5, and they all look like they're about the same. So let's check this. Distance from there to there, that's 6 inches. So I probably made an assumption that he was using 6 inches because there might not have been a note on the previous plan. So I'm going to change this to 5, but this 3 stays the same, so it's this one that changes. I'm just going to get rid of it. Delete it, offset, 5, move that up. And then I can come in here and trim. There, trim that. And it looks like I had a hidden line in here. So we're going to delete that. Do I have one here? No. Okay. So that is there. This looks right. And now that we know that's dimensioned right, I guess we'll just mirror it about here. And if they hit real close right on, then we know we got it right. Oh, that guy changed on us, so I get a mirror. This changed because of I had to draw it to make that center line symbol, so I just have to flip it, make it work out. Now let's check these guys. So I have 2 foot 0 and an 8. Then I have 4, 4, and 2 foot 0 and an 8. So he just split the distance on this 2 foot 0 and a quarter. So all I got to do really is move that from here, and let's see if it'll follow my line up towards there. Let's go 0.125, enter. Let's see if it moved. So if it did, it didn't take that line with it. Oh, yes, it did. So there it is. So I can do that with all these. So we're going to move that. We'll grab that one. And we'll grab that. And now we're going to do the same snap maneuver to get it to stay on this line. And so this goes 0.125 to split that distance. And how I can verify that that's working out. That went to an 1/8, but these guys probably lost some of their associative properties. So I'll move that up. Oops, I missed. And then down here, I need to move that one up. So that should remain 4. And then the other one needed to go with it. And we need to make sure those go together. If you grab them both, sometimes when you grab that node, they'll move together, such as down here. These two, hopefully, will go. They went at once. Okay. So now I got what he has. 2 foot 0 and 1/8, 4, 4, 2 foot 0 and 8. Out here it is 4, 4, and this was 6 inches. So there's my 6-inch heel. And I think we've got this thing drawn correctly on that side, so I need to mirror these around to here. I'm going to mirror that, and that about this center point. And now those are in the right place. And we are at an 812, so that's good. And then down here, we are at 412, so that's all good. And then here, I just have some stuff I need to discuss with the owner about how he wants to do that. Out here, they don't want to do any decorative bracing. And it appears I also had a question in here, so it probably has to do with how this is landing, and may have wanted to bring that to his attention and say, hey, if we move this slightly, then we could utilize, let's see, it would have to go up 5/16. If it went up 5/16 of an inch, if this height for this bent and this whole thing went up 5/16, then I could use a pre-cut. If not, we'll just trim 5/16 off of it. So I'm going to leave it as it is until we get to that conversation. So what I need is, now that I know that this is in here right, I'm going to mirror this guy out the midpoint. And that is that bent except for down here. And this, it's a 2626. Okay, so offset 30 inches, 30. Oh, it didn't offset 30. So we're going to move that down, move that over. And then I could actually, if I wanted to, I could go trim that, and then just grab this guy, move it up to there, and then make the assumption that that's also a 5. And so we'll offset at 5 and then trim it out. I'm going to leave the cloud there just so I can have that conversation. And if it seems appropriate at some point, that didn't quite hit the middle. Oh, because this stops and this goes across. So all I got to do is just move this straight to there. Now, these two knee braces can go over to the other side, copied to the building. So midpoint, done. And that is pretty much it. There is some sort of a piece in here. When I zoom in on it, I really can't tell just what it is. So that will be a question for the timber framer. And there appears to be another one in this vicinity, below that knee brace, and another one in this vicinity. Oh, we do need to put the knee braces here. Do I have a height for those? I do. On this side, I've got a height. But we're going to do it on this side because this side doesn't have all that extra stuff. And then we'll just mirror it across. So it's 8'3" up, and then it is a 6-inch. So I'm going to say it's is it a 4x6? The other one was a 6x8. And this appears to be a 6x6, but yeah, that would work because it's an 8-inch post. Doesn't leave us much, but it works. So what are these guys? Those are 4x6. So let's copy that. I don't like this either. If we take these and change them so they all look the same. On bigger ones, I'll often leave them blue just because they look fine. Oh, looks like a good thing I saw that because now I realize it's not mirrored. So that one goes there. And since this one's vertical, let's alter this one. Let's copy it from here. And we're going to put it over here and then move it down. Apparently he wants it down 9 inches. He wants it on the outside. Then we need to stretch. So this distance should be 6. This is 8. It needs to be 6 by 6. So I'm going to stretch it. I'm going to come across. Looks like I might. Oh, I grabbed it. Then I'm going to undo this and then stretch that. No, I didn't grab it. So stretch. Make sure I cross it. Then undo those. Unselect those. Holding the shift. And up to. And that should now be 6 by 6. There. Okay. So now this is supposed to be down 9 inches from the top. We're going to move it down 9 and then mirror it across. The whole thing goes all the way over to here. Now we just need to add the dimensioning in there. So we'll copy this. And we'll copy it from there to the top. And I could either note it as a 6 by, or I could match his notes. How do I want to do it? He's doing all that on the other side. And he's doing it because he keeps this clean. So I am going to dimension it on the other side. So let's mirror that. And then we'll say yes, because we're not going to leave it here. So I'm going to mirror it. Do I want to delete the originals? Yes. Y, enter. Now that one's over there. It's to this point. I have the bottom of eave for my roof. I don't really need that for his drawing, but we're going to leave it there for now. Let's extend this out. And then we'll grab this guy, bring it down to there. So that's 8'9". And he's got 8'3" to the bottom. So I need to copy that from there down 6. Oops, sideways. 6. And then let's just move this down, and we'll put a dimension in between to show the size of that. And then we could put another dimension in between this. I do have this as noted as eave clear. May do some note arrangement. So I can say, okay, you got an eave, and you want to know how high it is. Or we could say, it's just above this, and I could note the girt's height. Or we can just dimension the girt, which is how he has it. So really kind of any of those solutions will work. Looks like I could trim maybe those back to there. These just aren't reaching out, I don't think. So let's make sure it does. And so I need another dimension in here, and this is going to get tight. So I'm going to put it to there. Now I'm going to match properties, and it's going to make my numbers nice and big. So this guy, I want to drag it to the inside. Clear to read. That way I can drag this one to the outside, and it'll still make sense. So that's 1 5/8 to the bottom of the eave. We've got some 16ths going on, all kinds of strange dimensions, but his work, this girt height is now dimensioned, and everything else is dimensioned over here. So his work is dimensioned as well as the stuff that I added to the exterior. So we can zoom extents. Now I can go to my plotting drawing, and let's just update it. It didn't ask for it. So what's probably going on is if I go to select a new path, it's taking me to a completely different folder. So I'm going to go here, scroll down, Fisher Barn, and AutoCAD, lesson 3, and we are in the plotting, and I'm looking at getting the working. So I want working finished, open. So now that's there. This, I'm going to select a new path, and I'm going to tell it, I'm in 3, so I want floor plan finished, open. So those are going to the right place. And then my D title, let me pause for a moment because I would check, make sure that my title block isn't going to give up the ghost on who owns this place and where it's at. So you can see here it's a generic title. So then I'll go back to my model if I want to. And this guy needs to be reloaded, it's telling me. The reference drawing has changed recently. Do you want to compare differences? I always do not show this again. No, I don't want to compare. It'll just gray it out. You can see what's going on and see if you like the changes if you want to do that. I prefer not to. So now I'm going to check this path, and it's going here, open. All right. So everything's good, so I can plot for the city, except we need to make those changes to this guy. So we finished this one, and now I got to just put these knee braces in to wrap this one up. So I got to figure out which side is which. And what I did is I put a deeper overhang. This is, I'm in the plotting drawing. I'm in the wrong drawing. So I'm going to come here. Here's my door, and I have a shallow piece over the door, a deep piece over here, because they're going to eventually build an exterior stair. So we don't know the depth of that yet. And what I can do with this is, let's work on this side. And we want to make sure that we have all of his vents in here. And then we're also going to make a copy of this whole thing. And then we're going to do that back vent. So let's even do that first. Let's copy. Oops. Copy. I'm going to grab all of that. From here, we're just going to come straight across till we feel like we got good spacing. I'll put some notes and stuff on the drawing and there. And so we're going to have this as section AA. This will be section BB. And then we'll just draw section lines in the back. Oop, took my caps lock off. BB. All right. So that one's ready for this to move down. So let's go back and take a look at that. Let's fix this one real fast because this is kind of more important. So we're going to get this guy at 10.2. It's an 8x14, not a 12. It's by doing the deeper piece to hold stuff. So it becomes a loft bale, a baling loft or something like that. So you can hold some more weight. And then we still have the knee braces to shorten the overall span down on this. And then these, he said, really make it strong. And I don't know that I quite understand that yet, but I'm going to go with his word on it. So let's bring this over. And then we're going to take and we're going to offset this floor by 10'2" is where he wants that. So offset 10'2". Oop, I was in my other drawing there. I hadn't clicked in AutoCAD yet. Offset 10'2". Grab that. Let's go ahead with the X line. Bring it up. And then we're going to move this from, and looks like I got an X line there too. So I'm going to move this less this. Oops, am I holding the shift? I am. From here down to that guy. And now I can get rid of it. So we'll delete it. And now this is an 8x14. So we're going to move this up to, and then let's just measure it. And we have 1'2". So we need to change its note to a 14. And then that girt is in the same place. And so what we're looking at is extending these down. And we'll probably have to get some different dimensions going on in there. This line, I don't know if it's relevant here, but I think it's just him estimating this. So he may be more interested in this number. And I will have to verify that where I'm getting that from. But what I can tell you is this becomes a 3-2 by 3-2. So offset 3 foot 2. There, there. And if I want, I'm going to G junk, but I can match properties. And then offset 5, trim, and then MA, match those, and erase these. So that one's in there. Now he's got another one up top, which it is a 4.6 by 4.6. So that's a big boy. And this bent's only in the front. So it's going to flip, and then it's going to move to 4.6. So I'm going to mirror this about itself. And then I'll say yes. And then I want it to come out 4.6. So offset 4 foot 6. Come out. So it's going to go to there. So I'm going to move those from there to that 4.6 point. I can erase the line. And then when I extend up, they're at 45 degrees, so it will be 4.6 by 4.6. So that's ready. And then I can mirror that across. Let's get rid of that. And when I back out, I can only make the assumption that nothing changes out here because there's no hidden line. And it's not noted as front or back bends. So the sheds stay the same. So all I have to do really is mirror that one and that one about the center point, and we're done with the second section. Told you it wouldn't take long. Except I do have some very difficult to read dimensions. So let's grab this guy. What do we have got? What have we got here? Let's go back to our other side. Okay, this was mentioning a bent. So that kind of made some sense. And what I can do is clean this up some. So let's bring this out to here. Let's bring that out to there. And they've changed this AutoCAD grabbing a little bit because, boy, that's a lot nicer. It used to want to snap someplace close, but now it's snapping right at those dimension lines. That is nice. So I'm going to save that. Now we need to go dimension this one because it's kind of independent of that one. So what are we looking for? We need to dimension this bent and this bent. So over here, I've got a 10-2, and I've got kind of a dimension that doesn't mean anything here. So, well, it is going to that, which doesn't change. So I'll have to find a way to make that make sense. And get this. He's got this dimension to 4.6. This one, I guess we already know it, but we can copy it in a bit. So my dimension here, let's do this. Let's go from there to there, and we're going to come up and drop it. Now I can MA this, and that is my 4.6. So I need dimension 1 here. We'll pull it out part way. And this really isn't necessary if I were to say come in and say, okay, these are 45 degrees. But this defines it the same. So that's already defined as 45. This line doesn't seem to have any bearing in this drawing. And it was used to place, oh, it got trimmed out, so it's just gone here. But we'll put back in what we need later, if we need any of that. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to make this look good. So I'm going to bring this out a bit. That is a girt. I think if I bring it up into here, that will look cleaner because I need to drag these dimensions out to where they're going to mean something. So this guy, I'll bring it out to there. And then I don't know if we need this, but let's put it to here and then drag it to here. And maybe that will help him out at some point. But right now I need to bring this to there so it makes sense. So I've got my 8-inch at 5 and 15/16. So he does have a 16th inch in there. Which, why is that a product? Why are we getting it? We got 5, 6, and 9/16. Just the way that this is settling in. So this is probably not a very, yeah, it's 3 and 1/16. So if this had shifted up a 16, it would have caused it. But then it throws this 6-inch dimension off. So something's got to give. It's an angle. And that's what's giving. So we have that set. Looks pretty readable. So we got to dimension these little guys down here because they are different. They are 3 2s. And then we'll make sure that they are making sense as to the fact that we're not going to show them as 45. So we'll just show 3 2s. And I think we've got this guy dimensioned. So we'll save that. Now, we got to translate this information over to this guy. And if this is the back, this is the front, then this side is this side. So I want to show my girt, and let's look at what he's got. So he is showing, oh yes, this is the shed girt, and that's the main girt up above. This is our main stack, beam stack. So he's just not showing that line out at the point where the shed, so this is just a cut probably right at the edge of this. I can see the beam either beyond or in front of. So it's kind of a matter of interpretation. So if I were to do a cut, I think I see where we can make this clear. So what I'll do is when we go to show the cut, we're going to show it in the floor plan to be cut right in front of this one, because then I will see both those beams, the back two that are higher, or lower, sorry, these two, and then the two higher ones. So that cut would show that. And it will show it going into these main posts. So the section cut's going to be here, looking that way. All right, so let's get these lines drawn in here. So what he wants to show on this. So what I've got is these purple lines come off of here. So that should, if I match that up, it's not hitting right. So this is not drawn for this plan. Did I fix this side? Looks like I did. So I'm going to put an X line for both of these. XL, H. I'm going to drop that in, and then we're going to put one up at the crest here. And that way, when we show these different color lines, so this guy moves from there to there, and then this and this move from there to there. Oh, this one goes down, And let's check the other side. See if we got, looks like I corrected this one. So all those are good. So here, now we can get rid of these and then just trim this. I'll do a chamfer, distance 0, and then I'll extend that up, check the other side, extend that up, come in here, chamfer this corner, we worked our way across. So up here should be this guy. So XLH, and let's just drop that, and then our ridge. And this is assuming no ridge vent. So that one's, again, I corrected this one, but I didn't correct this one. I probably didn't do it because we didn't have, I was told that we weren't final yet. So I'm hoping that's why I did it. Hope I didn't just miss it. That wouldn't be very professional. Okay, so now all those are there. So if we want to do elevations, and then we can show a section. So these are elevations with the beams hidden, kind of shown inside. And so let's take, and yeah, that's elevation. And we'll put roof hatching on this, because then that's what clears it up, is the hatching. And now that we've got some heights that he's kind of setting, I can show them, you know, how their window could sit in here. We haven't got this set exactly at a height yet. I just kind of picked some heights over here. Looks like something's off here. I think it's that guy. And I can put it there. Oh, it wasn't that one. So let's trim these. And now let's fix these. So that needs to go there. That needs to go there. And that's right on it. And looks like I just drew in this. So 5 3/4 top of roof to bottom of window. So this is horrible looking. Let's see what we can do with it. Can I get it out here and make it look nice? Can I get it up here and make it look okay? It's kind of okay. Boy, that's way the heck out there. And sometimes it can be just a matter of incrementing something in, and then it wants to jump on you. So Control Z, Control Z. This is getting pretty close to what was looking okay. Just don't want that to jump way down. There we go. I want to keep it off this number. I want to move it a little more. See how it's wanting to jump. But if I zoom in, sometimes I can keep it from doing that jump. See if we're getting anywhere away from that number 1. It's still so close. And when I come up, boy, it wants to just go back there. We'll clean that up. Oh, I got an idea. Here's a trick. Go to these properties, check your angle. You'll see that it's 0. Text, angle, 0. Change it to 0.01, because 0 doesn't work. But if you go to 0.01, you can get it to go horizontal. Now, we can stick it out here, where it's much clearer what it's doing. There we go. That's what I'm after. Okay, so now we can copy this whole thing down and start to create that section that we're after. So we're going to copy it. So this will be section CC. So we'll copy all this down to here. And then let's go in and change this so we always know what we're working with. So S. Oops. Okay. And if you want to bring that in, I like these to be actually defined when I'm doing labels as middle center, because then I can actually center it on the building if I want But I hadn't done that because I was just trying to quickly get this sucker out. So we've got this looking pretty good. Now we want to get rid of our roof. We're not showing that. We're not showing that. And we're not going to show any of that. This or this. We're doing sections of vents. So these are going to go to the object. And now we have the 10'2" to this beam. That's the lower. That's the upper. Let's do the upper first. XLH. Put it there and there. So this is the upper. So these are going to be the ones that are here. So I can go REC and put it there. Then MA and drop that in. And then get rid of, well, yeah, we can get rid of it. B. And then we'll draw a line from here, here, and another one from there to there. And then we'll change this to D object thin. Take your D, get close. Now we can copy this. And we can go from there, straight across, and hit there. Now we need to by 14. There and there is for the back vents. Oh, looks like I got one more. There. There. He did tell me he only wants these on this back. So I'm going to copy this one from here to there. Then I'm going to move it from here to here and then stretch it. And there we have it. And now I got to copy this one to here. And this is where a floor system's going to go. To lay that hay loft in the back of the barn for the last. Yeah, these aren't lined up. I have too many. So this is coming off. That's why I've got this extra one that didn't feel right. So let's get rid of this. And we'll have to just change. Those are easy to change over there. They're easy to change here too. So let's just get our X lines in. That's what's throwing us. XL, vertical, there, 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 there. Only got 4, not 5. There's those, so now it's just a matter of, I want my train way out there. Yes, I'm going to leave the train there. So we're going to stretch just this guy in to there. And then we're going to stretch that from there to there, and then stretch this from there to there. And now I've got their locations. So we want knee braces in there, and we want to show those girders. So we have 2 girders, and they're labeled differently, and they're trimmed out between each post. So let's just do XL, H, that girder, there. And then we need the lower one down here, there, and there. And all he did was, he wants these. I got too many lines in here. Oh, I didn't get rid of those. Missed 2. Okay, so our uppers and our lowers, so they go everywhere. So trim that back. And now, if I just go all the way through, and I trim, I could have done that all at once too, just so you know. So trim, let's just go all the way. Now come in and get that out of there, that, and that, and that, and that out. And I could have trimmed it back to this line instead of grabbing both, but it was not that big of a deal. Match properties, there, there, and there. And what he wants in here is just to label them. So I'm just going to copy this from here. We'll bring it over and we'll put it, let's just go here because I'll show you what I mean by if these things are, if your property's set, oh, it is set to middle center. See that little dot? That was it. So now I can do a line on my junk layer, and I do like diagonals, just because I can use them over and over. I always know where they are. MID for mid, make it go to the right place. Now it's in the mid. So there's that one. Then I can copy this note from here. Let's just go from here to here. It's based off the middle. So when I type in here, it's just going to do its thing. And I'll approximate this because it's not that big a deal. Now, let's get this. He wants this to read 6 by 8. So he wants the inch marks in here too. So 6. And the reason he's doing the inch marks is to tell us these are not nominal. 6 inch by 8 inch. And the top one is the main bent girts. So I need to delete the whole thing. Main bent girts. Which is shorter? It could actually put this as it should be. Beams. There. And then, so this guy here is going to be our shed. Shed. Girder. And then this number is 6 by 6. So 6 inch and 6 inch. There's those. And then we just need to put our knees in here. So these are 3s all the way through. Okay. So what's our distance here? 210. I gotta zoom in on that. Looks like he's got possibly a center line to that main knee. No, he's hitting, so you can see it. Yeah, he's got, this is the top one coming down, but it's not getting to the corner because there's not enough room. So we're going to come out 3 and then go 45. Come out 3, 45. And then we can just copy and mirror those all around. And I can zoom out and just check. Yeah, I have to assume those are 5 inches again. So we're going to offset 36 and go like that. Now, if I take a line and I go from here and I stay at 45, it's going to hit on that. And that's exactly what he's got shown. So I can do an MA, so I don't have to do a whole bunch of them. Get rid of that. I'm going to copy this from there straight down to there. Then we can extend this one out. Now I can offset the 5 inches on both of them. Trim it. I'm going to trim that and that. So there, 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 there. So I have those. So these are, now it's pretty darn simple. And I'm going to go to the middle of that. And then you got to remember that the spans between these beams vary, so I can't just shoot these all the way down. So I have to do them a set at a time. And then our last ones. The distance between the posts were not all the same. That's why I had to do those independently. Now, is our height right? Because to me, it looks very, very tall. 18 foot. It's very tall. Offset 18 feet. Enter. That didn't take. Offset 18 feet. Enter. Grab the white line up. And now let's just stretch all of that from there to there and erase that. And we basically have his less the words main knee and shed knee, and then dimensioning some of this stuff out. So this hidden line system, this will be coming down into here. And if that, yeah, I know how to do this. Let's go this way. We're going to get rid of these. And we're going to get rid of these. And then we're going to just take, and we're going to do an X line vertically from the end of that one, and then come down here, pick up the end of this one, because these are end to end. So let's just do a copy. And do I want to bring all my knees too to make those hidden? Kind of shows off what the system is. Why not? Let's bring them in. So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go from this end to my end. And then again to my end. Now, one of these is backwards. So if I look at that, see how it doesn't line up? It's this one. So I can mirror. Actually, I can mirror the whole darn thing. And we're going to mirror it about this exterior line. And then say yes. And this should be right on the end where it belongs. That should now line up. That should line up. A little geometry there. All right, so that is looking good, except these are visible on elevations. So what I want to do with this is take all of this and the posts. Well, we can get rid of that. Let's just delete it. Let's get rid of these. Those are for dimensions, so we'll leave those in there. So we got rid of those. Now I can come in here and let's make this thing hidden. So there, and I don't want to change that or the line I don't want to print. And so I'm going to take all those and change them to de-hidden. De-hidden. Let's go check our looks good, but it says it varies. Oh, you know why it probably varies? Nope, it's not that. Don't know why it varies. So let's make it not vary. And we'll copy it down to the, or we're going to change the other one. So properties, and let's set it to our standard 24. Oh, that's layer. LTS 24. Click. And, oh, I did it. Even though I said I didn't want to. That stayed. That stayed, but the other one didn't. MA. You can see my, oh no, it stayed. Okay, everything's good. Not only way I had different layers. Oh, it's because I selected these. But then I deselected them. Wonder why that did what it did. Just a strange reaction I'm not quite understanding. So I want to make sure I've got this drawn correctly. I'm going to go through and grab these lines. Make sure I've got them all selected. I'm not worried about the top ones. I'll show you why. That one, that top I do, but not the tops of the posts. Then I'll grab these, grab that, and then we're going to come into our, and it's set to 24. And, oh, let's check it. Our layers de-hidden, 24. I don't know why it wasn't before. So now this one and this, so that and that. We're going to make these smaller because if we don't, they just don't show up. So let's try a 6 and see what it looks like. That looks good. So the 6 it is. So now I just got to do the same thing down here. So let's first just change it all. Grabbing all of that. And then less. I don't want those. And I don't want that. Did I miss anything? No, those are that white line is for this roof elevation. It'll make sense when we get this thing done. De-hidden. So check our property and let's set the LTS to 24. Now let's come in and change. Grab that, grab that, grab that, and that. And we're just going to change its LTS to 6. So it'll show up nicer. So there's those. And now they're hidden in there. So we kind of see how windows work, all that sort of stuff. And then when we get the hatch in here for the roofs, you'll see what I'm doing there. So let's even do one. Let's do SPL, enter. And what I do is I don't like to hatch a whole roof with like a shingle or metal or whatever we're doing. So I'll put a spline that goes beyond and gives me a nice curve. And then we've got another roof down in here. I'm going to come back a little, start it, come over, maybe come this way, and then come back, give it some variation. I like to drag them along because if this changes in height, sometimes I don't have to move my splines. So then I can do another one, and we'll just start here, 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 and we'll come down, make that pretty plain. And then maybe give this one a little more life. So here, here, and go down below. Looks like I grabbed a piece, but that doesn't matter. You'll see where we're hatching. So real quick, I'm going to freeze a layer, this hidden layer. Because I don't want to see it, because I just want to hatch certain areas. So we're going to hatch this and that. And then we'll hatch this and this. That way if my lengths change, I can just do one or the other. If my heights change, I could have made all 4 separate. They're really easy to deal with. So now I'm going to come up here. And on the house, we have a metal roof. And then I need to set this way up, probably. Let's start with 24. There we go. And then I drag my angle if I'm not going perfect. But here, I am going perfect. Oh, it hit 45. I got lucky. And so that, to me, looks pretty good. If you want to just play with it, you can. That looks better. That looks better. So 38, 39. Let's go with 40. All right, now I need to change it to detach layer. That makes it that color. Now I can just go MA. There, there. Now I can come back in to my D hidden and turn it back on. And you can see if I got siding in here too, I'll get my siding hatched in here. And then I'll have roof and I'll have siding. Now, I got to figure out ones that look different because it's board and batten on the house. I'm assuming it's going to be board and batten here. And we want them to look different, but I could steal it from the house too. That's a thought. So maybe I'll open up the house's working drawing. And let's get it to match. And I want that one, that one, that one. And let's go to our working. And I can choose my 2 different things. So here's a roof. There's a siding. So Control-Shift-C, grab a point. Come over to my working here. Then I'm going to go Control-V and drop it. Now let's make my roof match this. Now the house and the barn will have the same look. So then we'll add another line in here. So let's just show it. Well, no, we got to draw windows and stuff first. Once we get our windows and stuff in, then we can show siding on there. And I don't know what he's planning on between these bays. That hasn't been talked about. And he's just busy right now, so I haven't had much chance to corral him. This is a fake 0, so let's get rid of it. I'm going to move this down here, and then I'll take this and delete it. So when my siding's there when I want it. when we figure out what we're doing down here. But that's basically how that happens. And this is good except for some dimensions and some labeling. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to stop the recording though and just come in and dimension and label, and that will be what we did for this one. So thanks for stopping in, and I'll wrap this up shortly.